conduct the matters of business, we ask that your Spirit would guide our hearts and minds in the spirit of fairness and the right thought and speech. And may your supreme wisdom be upon our activities so that we may reach a conclusion of our affairs here tonight. We thank you for the privilege of meeting and for all your blessings that you have shown upon us. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call roll, please.
Gerald Cook, Buddy Holly, Tim Johnson.
Here.
Kenny Me, Sam Russell.
Here.
Lonnie Wright.
Here.
I'd like to declare a quorum. Need a motion to approve the minutes of the October 15th, 2019 meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson.
Second.
Second by Councilman Wright. Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Councilman Wright.
No, sir.
Call roll, please. Oh, I'm sorry, wait a minute. Any corrections? Maybe.
Buddy Holly.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Motion carries. Need a motion to pay the salaries?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Russell. Second by Councilman Holly. Councilman Russell.
No, sir.
Councilman Holly.
No, sir.
The floor is open for discussion. Call roll, please.
Buddy Holly.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Motion carries. Motion to pay the bills.
No, sir.
Motion by Councilman Wright.
Second.
Second by Councilman Russell. Councilman Wright.
No, sir.
Councilman Russell.
No, sir.
The floor is open for discussion. Call roll, please.
Buddy Holly.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Motion carries. At this time, we'll hear from delegation. If you'd like to address the council, please stand, state your name, and limit your comments to 3 minutes. You want to talk to us, brother?
I can. Well, maybe I will. I'm sorry, I hate to come running in like this. I'm Bruce Knobloch with the Cornstalk Heights Historical Community Organization. And one of the things, I just drove down through Walden Avenue on my way back from work tonight. And I don't know if you've had a chance or if you go that direction at all, but you have to take a look at it. What it is previously the city had already installed new lighting in there, the LED double globes in the median there. And Kevin Helms had asked if the organization would consider doing a landscaping project. We did. We started working on it actually earlier this month, right after, I guess it'd be October, right after our drought. But we've got a group of rose bushes in the ground. Most of them are around the lamppost, but the most impressive thing are the flags that were just mounted today. In addition to that, we're also putting in some redbud trees. I can see some of them were already installed. We wanted to get clearance from any utilities that may have been necessary, but it is very impressive to see. If you get a chance, go down Walden. The other thing is a week from Sunday, November the 17th, is when the Cornstalk Heights organization will meet at the current First Christian Church down at the corner of Cumberland and Morgan Street at 3 o'clock. That is for essentially a public meeting in order to discuss the purchase of the old First Christian Church at the same corner, just diagonal from the current church. This is something that we are looking for public participation. However, the voting of it will be by those members of the organization itself. But that's a very, if we can get your support, come out and see and discuss it. I have a presentation that's prepared so that you understand what the project is and what our intention is. Thank you. November 17th.
9 in the morning or 9 at night?
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
3 o'clock.
Yes.
Thanks, sir. Anyone else like to address council? not, we'll go into reports. Harriman Utility Board.
Just wanted to start out with recognizing that Trunk or Treat was a huge success. I appreciate the city for teaming up with HEB and the other businesses that were involved. I thought it was excellent. We actually had over half our employees involved, and that's something I'm really proud of. I want people to know that Harriman Utility Board employees were a big supporter and enjoyed the event too. It was a lot of fun. The biggest news we have is regarding this Saturday night, beginning around 11:30 at night, lasting about several hours probably. We're going to have finally have our planned power outage we've been talking about for months. It's been postponed, delayed due to different reasons, and mostly because of the abnormally warm weather this summer. This is something that TVA is working on with us, that we were working with their schedule on. Anyone that wants to see if they are affected can do so by visiting our website. We've got the link posted on Facebook, but it can also be found on the homepage of our website, which is heb-tn.com. And we are also getting the alert sent to the news and radio stations. So hopefully everyone will get plenty of advance notice. The city may have noticed in the last few weeks we received an order from the state regarding a water and sewer rate study. I want you all to know that we have met our first deadline, which was October 31st. We've hired a rates consultant, and we're working on that. So that will help us to comply with the state order, and also just be a very good tool for HEB to use moving forward in our financial planning. Some good news in the water department. I can't remember if I mentioned this last month or not, but we were successful in receiving $525,000 grant from CDBG that will be used hopefully on new water meters this upcoming year. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. We want to thank you for the letting us be a part of the Trunk or Treat. This is the second year the city is co-sponsored with you all, and it was great. Great event. Look forward to next year. Already trying to find my costume, so I'm excited. Thank you. Public Works.
So you jumped the gun now, didn't you, man?
Well, you said move you up, so I moved you up.
Well, be a little quick. Thank you, Mayor. We finished trimming up King Drive and Bennett Circle, trying to clean that area up a little bit. I'm hoping to be able to pave that area. Finished trimming, cutting at Riverfront Park. Trimmed trees on Tennessee Avenue. Trimmed and cut trees on Crescent, right there at Trent Street Church. Got that big tree down with the help of HUB. They cut the big one for me, then we done our own cut. Trimmed the corner of Maple Street, trimmed trees on Walden Street to help Bruce with his new plants. Painted parking lights at our garage, our lines. Painted stop bars and stop at Fisk Road, that you requested from there. Graded and put 5 loads of rock for the Mid-April Fair. We cleaned our alleys, cleaned quite a few right-of-ways. Put 15 tons of asphalt out this month. Picked up tons of brush as usual. Picked up 10 orders of junk orders. We had some trees down during the storm last week. My boys, they done a great job on that. Late notice, we cleaned that Trunk or Treat. The boys done a good job on that. Put up some stop signs, put up some road signs. There's other things we've done, it's just not real bad.
About everything from Mr. Langer. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate all your guys do and what you do. And it was kind of late notice on the Trunk or Treat. It was just a little bit more overwhelming than we expected again this year, so we appreciate you all coming out and getting that cleaned up so quick. Parks and Rec.
First of all, I'd like to thank everybody that come out for our David Webb celebration. We had 21 years. We celebrated the on October the 18th, and a lot of you got to come out. Some of you didn't too, because we had fall break, but it's a good showing for a great man, David. And I think Councilman Wright wanted us to get it videoed, and I believe that Rome State come, and we'll be getting that video out. I think they're going to play it too, so I thank everybody for coming out for that. We had our football season ended up a couple weeks ago, and we had our banquet last night. Had a good showing. A lot of people come out last night. I appreciate coming out, Councilman Johnson coming out. I think Brian came out, and the kids really liked him coming out and talking to him about football, especially the one that's moving up, and working on basketball. Basketball sign ends up this week. We'll have to be picking our coaching. We're working on right now on our teams. Hopefully we'll have that done by next week. And big thing, Veterans Day, will be Monday. We're working with Joshua at HUB and American Legion. We're a bunch of us getting together with the high school. A lot of the high school students are coming down to Riverfront Park. That'll be November the 11th. We're going to start around 10 o'clock, so if anybody's not doing anything, we're looking for a lot of the students to come down and get on the roadways with flags as the veterans are coming down, going up to gazebo. So I think that's going to be a great thing too. The school's helping us with that. Also, we're working on something for Christmas. We're looking at December the 12th at one of the parks from 5:30 to 7:30. We'll hopefully have more on that too as it's coming up. And we're going to get some prices on the ice machine. The ice machine went out last year, and they get one yet. So hopefully here next month or so, we'll have some prices on purchasing a new ice machine for the concession stand. That's all I got. Any questions?
But anything, Mr. Jones?
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate you. Library.
Connie and I spent last Tuesday in court all day long about the robbery, and the man got 45 days and 3 years, 3 years probation and 45 days. And of course, the restitution has not been determined completely. Still working on figuring out how much the door would be is one of the things that I wanted me to find out more about, since it's a historical door. But of course, I'm not expecting him to ever get around paying restitutions, but anyway, it will be in the records. It's official that I have the tech grant. I told y'all that the last time, but now it's at the point that I'm actually allowed to spend money on it, so we'll start buying more technology this coming week. And I passed it all out about at the play we're going to have the Saturday after Thanksgiving, if anybody can come out for it. It's a library, but it's also a friends group along with the board that's putting this on. And we'll have dessert, and it's a radio version of It's a Wonderful Life, and it'll be at the American Legion. I'm in the process of applying for the top grant again. That's where the government gave us money to have computer classes. So hopefully I'll get that, and we'll be able to continue with our adult computer classes next year. Although it would be nice if we got more turnout, but we'll keep working at it and hopefully get more turnout. The children's programs are going great. We have the 3 homeschool programs and 2 different preschool programs. And Connie is getting names of people that's in nursing home that are veterans to send them cards and stuff. For the homeschoolers to send them cards and stuff for Veterans Day to celebrate that. And thank you to Cornstalk Heights for the roses that they placed in their yard too. They're beautiful. That's pretty much all I have right now.
Do you have any questions? Thank you, ma'am.
And we have fun at the trunk or treat too.
Dr. Curley.
We've collected 12% of our property tax to date. It's kind of slow, but November always picks up. We also collected all the delinquent motel tax that we had out. Due to the good help of Jessica, who's learning spreadsheets, we were able to identify and notify them through letters about what they owed. And they have all come in and caught up with expected delinquency. So good result. That's it.
Do I have any questions, Dr. Crowe? Thanks, sir. City Attorney.
I had a hearing October 15th in Chancery Court for the annexation case of Mr. Largent. And the ultimate result of that is Mr. Largent's going to be permitted to amend his petition. He has a couple more weeks to do that, and so when I receive it, I can pass it on to council. Otherwise, Mr. Largent and I agreed to set it for trial on February 20th of next year.
Do I have any questions for City Attorney? Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Holmes.
Just a few events that I want to make you aware of that we have upcoming. This Friday, we have several events associated with the Dixie Lee Day that we'll be talking about here in a moment. But at 4 p.m. we'll be unveiling the new marker that was approved by the Tennessee Historical Society. That's on Oak Street out by the former elementary school, very near the intersection of Oak Street and Maple. You can see the marker from that intersection. 6 p.m. We'll be downtown unveiling the street sign for the previously unnamed alley that we named in honor of Dixie Lee. That will take place at the parking lot at the old ER building. At 7 o'clock, there will be a couple of film historians who will be discussing her career at the Princess Theater prior to showing a movie, Love and Bloom, which is considered her most popular movie, and that will probably begin about 7:45 that evening. And also the local businesses will be open. It will be the last Friday nights on Rome Street. They'll be open until about 6 p.m. This week before they turn their attention towards the holiday season. So be sure to catch the last Friday nights on Rome and take part in these other events as well. December the 2nd, we do have Mary Street coming up, and this year we'll be showing a movie after that, adding some additional entertainment, and from what I understand, that's going to be Christmas Vacation. So come out for the lighting of the tree and stay for the movie. Should be a full evening. And on December the 5th, we have the Christmas Parade, and applications are available. So if you want to take part in that, go ahead and get an application, fill it out, and get it returned back into the city. Also, I haven't searched this to see if it's absolutely true, but something that I read the other day that came out from a company that markets flags indicated that this year is the 100th anniversary of the first Veterans Day, when it was declared a national holiday. So according to that, it was 1919 was the first official Veterans Day. As far as what we've been doing here in the office, 3 primary things that our attention has been focused on the last few weeks. That's trying to wrap up the paperwork for FEMA, working on paperwork for the LPRF grant for the splash pad, and also working on some different documentation and updates to our website that are required as part of the ADA transition plan that we have to have complete by the end of the year.
Do I have anything for the city manager? Thanks, sir. This time we'll go into new business. First item, discuss and possibly approve proclamation declaring November the 8th, 2019 as Dixie Lee Day in the city of Harriman. Kevin, will you read the proclamation, please?
Proclamation, City of Harriman, Tennessee, Office of the Mayor, honoring Dixie Lee. Whereas Wilma W. Wyatt, also known as Dixie Lee, was born in Harriman Tennessee on November 4th, 1909 to Evan White in the former North Scarborough. Whereas Wilma White moved to Chicago and graduated from Shawn High School. While in Chicago, she adopted the professional name Dixie Carroll to enter an amateur singing contest in May 1928. Wilma White was spotted by a talent scout and given a part in a traveling company, Good News. A film contract was subsequently offered, and Fox Film Studio changed her name to Dixie Lee. Whereas Dixie Lee met Bing Crosby at the age of 20, and they married on September 29, 1930, at the Church of the Blessed Sacrament in Hollywood. Whereas Dixie Lee had 4 sons, Dixie Lee's most well-known film is Love and Bloom. In 1935, she retired from acting to be a devoted wife and mother, and on November 1st, 1952, Dixie Lee passed away from ovarian cancer. Now, therefore, I, Wayne Best, Mayor of Harriman, Tennessee, do hereby proclaim that the City of Harriman name a roadway after Dixie Lee in the alley that extends parallel to and between Walden Avenue and Queen Avenue. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand, cause the seal to be affixed on November 5th, 2019. Wayne Best, Mayor.
Motion to approve November 8th, 2019 to be Dixie Lee Day.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson. Second by Councilman Wright. Councilman Johnson.
It'll be a great honor to do that for her. That's all I've got.
Councilman Wright.
Motion.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Buddy Holly?
Yes.
Tim Johnson?
Yes.
Sam Russell?
Yes.
Lonnie Wright?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, discuss and possibly approve appointment to the Walden Ridge Zoning Overlay Design Review Committee. I think we're going to have 5 people on this committee. The recommendations that's come back from the people that have been meeting and talking about this, and most of y'all know this is over in the West Hills area. The names that have been recommended to be on this committee, Dr. Charles Curley, Brian Pridemore, Terry Day, and Denise Shaw. Get a motion to approve those 4.
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Russell, second. Second by Councilman Wright. Councilman Russell.
No, sir.
Councilman Wright.
Good.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Buddy Holly?
Yes.
Tim Johnson?
Yes.
Sam Russell?
Yes.
Lonnie Wright?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, discuss and possibly approve proclamation for Red Ribbon Week for Roane County Anti-Drug Coalition. Kevin, will you please read the proclamation?
Proclamation, City of Harriman, Tennessee, Office of the Mayor, Red Ribbon Week. Whereas the mission of the Roane County Anti-Drug Coalition is to reduce youth substance use, to educate and raise awareness of alcohol, tobacco, and other drug issues, to promote community involvement, and to strengthen community partnerships and prevention strategies in Roane County. Whereas the National Red Ribbon Campaign is the nation's oldest and largest drug prevention week and offers citizens and students of Roane County the opportunity to demonstrate their commitment to drug prevention and drug-free lifestyles by displaying red ribbons during this week-long campaign. Whereas the community of Harriman recognizes the need for drug prevention and further commits its resources to ensure the success of the Red Ribbon Campaign. Whereas the Red Ribbon Campaign was established by Congress in 1988 to encourage a drug-free lifestyle and involvement in drug prevention and in drug prevention and reduction efforts. Now, therefore, I, Wayne Best, Mayor of Harriman, Tennessee, do hereby proclaim October 23rd through the 31st as Red Ribbon Week and encourages the citizens to participate in drug prevention education activities not only during Red Ribbon Week, but all year long, making a visible statement that we are strongly committed to a drug-free Harriman, Tennessee, in witness whereof I have here unto set my hand and cause this seal to be affixed on November 5th, 2019. Wayne Best, Mayor.
Motion to approve. Motion by Councilman Holly. Second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Russell. Councilman Holly.
Yes.
Councilman Russell.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll.
Buddy Holly?
Yes.
Jim Johnson?
Yes.
Sam Russell?
Yes.
Lonnie Wright?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Good evening, council members. My name is Ashley Freeberg. I'm a prevention coordinator with the Roane County Anti-Drug Coalition. Thank you so much tonight for honoring our proclamation. But tonight is about our youth, so I'm gonna have them step up and introduce themselves if they would like.
My name is Derek Diaz de Leon, and I'm in 6th grade.
You go to what, Harriman Middle School? Okay.
Hi, my name is Jolene Emily Yarnell, and I go to Harriman Middle School.
Hi, my name is Steven Simmons. I go to Harriman High School. I play football, and I'm a supporter of the Anti-Roane County Drug Coalition.
Good job.
Hi, my name is Hannah Jeffers. I go to Harriman High School, and I'm in 10th grade. I'm a part of the HHS cheer team. I'm in the drama club, art club, and school campus beautification club. Thank you guys for having us.
My name is Chanel Kazar. I'm 17, and I'm a volunteer at the Boys and Girls Club.
So we just, again, wanted to say thank you guys so much. Again, this is about our youth. You know, part of our job at the coalition is to educate and empower our youth to live healthy, drug-free lifestyles. So with that being said, I feel like everybody before us and behind us, we each have a responsibility to advocate for the best interests of our youth. So today is one of those examples, so thank you so much.
I want to say thank you as well. We work really hard with the students, but you can see they're well represented from different sectors of their community, middle school, Boys and Girls Club, and the high school as well. So we can't do this without them, and really tonight is about them, so thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Appreciate it. Will you all come back up and get this here?
Oh, yes.
We appreciate all that you all do. We appreciate you young people for what you stand up for. And if there's anything that the city of Harriman can ever do for you all, our doors are always open, and keep looking straight up. Appreciate all you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you. Take care.
You too.
That's all the new business. We're going to comments. Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Councilman Russell.
No, sir.
Councilman Ryan.
No, sir.
Councilman Holly.
No, sir.
And I don't have anything tonight, so motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed, like sign. We have a workshop, so don't run off.
Welcome. I'd like to call to order the regular scheduled meeting of the Kingston City Council. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand. I'd like to ask Mr. Pierce if he'd lead us in prayer, and I'd also like to ask Senior Jesse Griffey of the golf team to lead us in the pledge of flag. Please stand.
Our Heavenly Father, we come here to do the city's business, and we pray your guidance upon the city officials as they make decisions for the best interest of the people. We pray for those who have come here tonight to hear, to listen, to participate, and we ask for your blessings as they go on their ways and lead them safely home. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Maybe seated.
Hi, Brown.
Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Brackett.
Here.
Councilmember Brown.
Here.
Councilmember Childs.
Here.
Councilmember Humphries.
Here.
Vice Mayor Stockton.
Present.
Councilmember Wright.
Present.
Mayor Neal.
Present. Do you hear a motion to approve the previous minutes from the last meeting?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Wright. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Stockton. Do we have any corrections or deletions to the minutes?
Yes, sir.
Madam Clerk, will you call the roll on the minutes, please?
Councilmember Brackett.
Yes.
Councilmember Brown.
Yes.
Councilmember Childs.
Yes.
Councilmember Humphries,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stockton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Neal.
Aye.
7 ayes.
I've got a couple of proclamations to do. So the first one I'd like to ask the Kingston golf team if they'd come up, please. So this is the Kingston golf team that just finished in the state tournament a few weeks ago. So I've got a proclamation for them. So whereas the city of Kingston is a county seat of Roane County, Tennessee, and whereas the city of Kingston wishes to honor the Kingston golf team, and whereas the Kingston golf team and Mayor Tim Neal representing the city of Kingston hereby set aside November 12th, 2019 in honor of this team and the recognition for their accomplishments as follows. They competed in the A2A state championship in Manchester, Tennessee, finished in second place. They won the district and region tournaments, finishing the season with 41 wins and 3 losses. The members of the team include seniors Dawson Lane, Jesse Griffith, Min Mullis, and Logan Carter, junior Malcolm Sherbine, sophomores Kobe Johnson and Caleb Tejada, and freshmen Blake Woody and Brady Reynolds, head coach Mike Neal and assistant Landon Hart. Whereas the city of Kingston wishes to thank the golf team for their contribution to the city in setting an example of excellence for the citizens of Kingston. And therefore, I, Timothy F. Neal, Honorable Mayor of the City of Kingston, do hereby proclaim the 12th day of November 2019 Kingston Golf Team Day. And I urge all citizens to acknowledge their contribution to our city. There you are. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I have one more today. The Roane County Anti-Drug Coalition, you guys come up. So this is the Roane County Anti-Drug Coalition. So whereas the mission of the Roane County Anti-Drug Coalition is to reduce youth substance abuse, to educate and raise awareness of alcohol, tobacco, and other drug issues, promote community involvement, and strengthen community partnerships and prevent strategies in Roane County. Whereas the National Red Ribbon Campaign is the nation's oldest and largest drug prevention week and offers citizens and students of Roane County the opportunity to demonstrate their commitment to drug prevention and drug-free lifestyles by wearing and displaying red ribbons during the week-long campaign. So therefore, I, Timothy F. Neal, set my hand and cause a seal of this fix of this proclamation. The week was October the 23rd through 31st, but I believe you guys had something to do at the middle school that night and couldn't make it. So I want to make sure we got this to you. So, thank you.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
And council members, thank you so much. We are continuing our efforts within Roane County on our drug prevention. And we have P3 clubs in all the middle schools, high schools, and elementary schools. And so I have some representatives today from our P3 club, which stands for Positive Peer Pressure. So I'm just going to let them say their name and what grade they're in real fast.
I'm Matthew Cantrell, and I'm in 8th grade, and I go to Cherokee Middle School.
My name is Shelby Griffith, and I am in 8th grade, and I go to Cherokee Middle School.
My name is Heather Hastings. I'm in 8th grade, and I go to Cherokee Middle School.
And we're so honored to have Miss Caraway. She is our P3 club sponsor. She does a lot throughout Cherokee Middle School with our anti-drug coalition, so very appreciative of her. And thank you for honoring us tonight. Thank you.
You do. Appreciate it.
Avery's passing up some stuff.
Thank you very much. Now, I'd like to also, we've got time set aside for any persons wishing to appear before the council. If there's anyone who wishes to appear before the council tonight, yes, please come up and state your name and your address, please.
Yes, I'm Travis Stout. I live at 1290 Callaway Drive, Winter City, Tennessee. Me and my wife own the Crave food truck. It's been under our understanding that they've passed the ordinance here in Kingston that is going to require a $120 permit for us to operate in the city of Kingston. Well, that's, you know, I think a little steep for a permit to require for this size of city. Number one, I think that for the size of events that happen here, that is especially too much money. Because, I mean, we go all over East Tennessee doing this. And there's only three cities that I know of that require a permit, that being Knoxville, Maryville, and Clinton. Knoxville, our permit is initial cost of $200, and then every year after that is $50. So in 3 years of time, we're paying more in the city of Kingston than we are in the city of Knoxville. And there's a ton more stuff going on in the city of Knoxville than there is in the city of Kingston. So here's what I think is going to happen if y'all go along with this and keep it. Number one, I mean, it's going to make it so hard, you know, for us to come down here and do these things in the city of Kingston. We're just going to look at it and say, you know, it's not worth going down there when we can go elsewhere and do things. So, you know, I'd like for you guys to really reconsider this, and, you know, maybe, you know, I don't know what the suggestion would be, but I think, though, in the long run, here's another thing, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt like we go to Kingston Elementary and do lunches for the teachers. If we're having to come down here and get, you know, these permits, it's going to stop that. And I mean, they enjoy us coming out there because they don't get to have an outside meal, you know, on a daily basis. So I mean, we don't go out there daily, but I mean, we're down there, you know, a few times a year, and I just think that it's going to hurt that. All the schools, churches. I mean, if we come in here and do these little events, I mean, it's just, I mean, they're not what I say over the top profitable. We come and do it because, number one, I'm originally from Kingston, and I like to come back where I was raised, and you know, see the people I know, and that's, you know, that's my main reason for coming up here and addressing you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone else wish to address the council tonight?
My name is Matt Melton. I live at 334 Euclid Avenue. I'm also a business owner in town at our town, 205 East Race Street. And just want to talk about the Christmas parade route. Seeing if we could go back to what the original route used to be. I've been trying to work with some other businesses in town and get some things going for also in association with the parade, like that night. And I've talked to several businesses other than myself, and they're all willing to do something as well. It's a little soon for this year, but next year we'd like to plan a lot more. But we can't do that if the route doesn't go through downtown Kingston. They've done a lot. Outdoor Kingston has done a lot down there to beautify that. The board, the beautification board has done a lot, and so we'd just like to be able to, you know, be back on that route so we can, you know, have some business opportunities and things like that, and be able to incorporate a lot more of our downtown as we revitalize and do other things. Thank you.
Does anyone else wish to address the council tonight? Seeing none, we'll go right into reports, Mayor and Council. Ms. Humphries, do you have anything to report?
I do. We had a very successful street fest. We had a lot of compliments on our music and on our vendors. Most all the vendors said that they did very well. We had our sturgeon release. We had, in conjunction with Outdoor Kingston, our puppetry, which was very successful. We've got our Christmas candlelight tour coming up at the fort. And Chase, what's the date on that? 14th. And we have a Christmas parade coming up on the 2nd. Other than that.
Mr. Jones, do you have anything to report? Thank you, sir. Vice Mayor Stockton.
I have a few things. A little bit behind on our mural on Rome County News, but if you haven't been by, it's already got a great start on it. It'll be amazing when it is completed. Weather permitting, it should be completed very soon. The beautification is working on a couple things on a wrap that'll be a welcoming sign when you come in to town. I think it is going to be fantastic, an addition to the city, and then also working with the state on a welcome sign for all the permits that's required in it. So we want to be able to have something to bring to the council from the beautification. So I think it'll be great.
Thank you. Mr. Brackett, do you have anything? Mr. Wright, do you have anything?
I do not.
Mr. Brown? No, sir. I don't have anything either, so I'll turn it over to the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I have just a couple of things here in addition to my written report. We received a couple of requests now to host events at the amphitheater. I know Chase has had a call. I had a request as well. We're having to decline those. I just want to let you know in case anybody contacts you that for liability reasons until the contractor's finished all the work and they've taken it off their liability and handed it over to us officially, we just have no choice but to deny those requests. Once that happens, even though we won't have an official grand opening until next year, we'll be able to rent it out or let folks use it. But hopefully that won't be too much longer. I know everybody's excited about it and certainly want to see people use it. We just have to wait till we're covered on that. Give you an update. I get a lot of questions about the Greenway and the repairs up there. Just to give you an update, we met with Collier Engineering one more time to finalize the plans for the repairs. We're clear to proceed. We've got a good plan in place. Everybody's on the same page about that. The only problem with now that we're midway through November with the possibility of bad weather, we've made the decision to delay that work until spring. We hate it's taken so long to get to this point, but the good news is with, even though dealing with FEMA has made it a long process, we do think that we're going to qualify for 100% reimbursement for the mitigation project. So we're definitely good news there. And I'll update you as it gets a little closer, but just want to let you know we think it's probably best that we put that off until spring to start that job. As you probably know, we recently completed fall brush pickup. This is the second pickup since you all enacted the new schedule. Happy to report that that's gone very well. We had no complaints, and from everything I've heard, it went really smoothly. Leaf pickup has been scheduled for the first 2 weeks in December. Unlike the brush, we're just doing that as the calls come in. We're not gonna follow a route on that. We'll be sending something out in the water bills and advertising about it, but want to let you all know in case you get any questions that will be coming up. And just finally want to give you a quick update on the Gallagher Road codes enforcement issue that we've been dealing with. Based on a little bit of work being done and a conversation with the property owner, we did make the decision to grant him a 30-day extension on that. That new deadline is November 23rd. We made our expectations very clear to the property owner. We certainly hope they'll comply. As of now, not overly optimistic, but still have a little bit of time. If they don't, then that's a conversation that we'll have to have at that point. But they are on the clock on that, and they know what's expected of them. And that's all I have. Any questions?
Does anyone have any questions for the city manager? All right, seeing none, we'll go to item number 7. It's addition of items to the meeting agenda received after the close of the agenda deadline. There was not any. Number 8 is unfinished business, and we have none. We'll go right straight into new business. Item A is consideration to approve the citizen request for installation of speed bumps on Old Ray Street. And we talked about this Tuesday night. We have a motion to approve this installation.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Brackett. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Humphries. Mr. Brackett, you have anything to discuss on it? Ms. Humphries, you have anything?
No, I just think if the citizens that live there want it, we should have it.
Council? Yes, Mr. Brown.
Just for the record, Mr. Manager, it meets all the qualifications set forth by the policy of the City of Kingston concerning speed bumps.
Madam Clerk, you call the roll on that, please.
Councilmember Brackett,
Yes.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Humphries,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stockton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Newell.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Item B is consideration to appoint Tori May to a 4-year term on the Board of Zoning Appeals. Do you hear a motion for this appointment?
I'll make the motion. Second.
Motion by Ms. Wright, second by Ms. Stockton. Anything in Ms. Wright?
No, sir.
Ms. Stockton? Council? Clerk, call the roll on that and appointment to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Councilmember Brackett,
Yes.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Humphries,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stockton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Newell.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Item C is consideration to appoint Susan Whitlock to a 4-year term on the Beautification Committee. Is there a motion to appoint Ms. Whitlock?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion, Ms. Stockton, second, Ms. Humphries. Ms. Stockton, do you have anything?
No, I think she'll be a great asset to the beautification committee.
Ms. Humphries? Council, do you have anything? Council, Mayor, we need to add that to the agenda next December's month to look at that ordinance on that. Clerk, call the roll on that, please.
Councilmember Brackett,
Yes.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Humphries,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stockton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Newell.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Item D is consideration to change the route of the Christmas parade. Do I hear a motion to change this route?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Ms. Humphries, second by Mr. Brackett. Ms. Humphries, you have anything to add?
I just feel like it would be beneficial to our businesses downtown. We're doing a lot to try to revitalize that area, and as Matt Melton said, it would help them out, and I just think a lot of people would like to see it go back to the way it used to be for years. And I know the chief, I've spoken to him, he doesn't have an issue with it. I know that Chase, as Park and Rec Director, is for it, so I'd just like to make a motion that we do it.
Mr. Brackett, do you have anything?
No, except that, that's the way it was when I was a kid. I'd like to see it go back that way. So, it's just, people get a lot of, especially the small kids, they get a lot of thrill out of it, not all bunched up. I'd just like to see it go back to the
Mr. Childs, you have anything? No. Ms. Stockton?
Oh, I think it's a definite positive. I mean, it's one of those things, if you can help local businesses, and then also it actually shows more in the city instead of just the newer part of town. So, I mean, if I had a choice, we could go through the entire business district. But I don't know how long the parade is. But I think it's a great thing.
Ms. Wright, do you have anything?
It's my understanding that TDOT doesn't have an issue with this. Our fire chief doesn't, our police chief doesn't, and I believe we have cooperation from the county if they need to stage emergency vehicles on the other side. The only real issue remaining is a traffic detour. That's just something that we're gonna have to put notice out. If you're wanting to come down 70 and take a ride on 58, you might be waiting a while, so either wait 2 hours or find a different route. So in saying that, I think we have all the approvals that we need to do this.
Mr. Brown?
Well, you know, I told you the other night that I wasn't for this. I think it's a safety concern. I think we're blocking the people that need to go down Highway 58 and that need to go down Highway 70. I would really like to ask, but I'm not going to, a point of order. I don't even think we've got the authority to do this. If you look at your charter, and I draw your attention to section 5.03, 5.04, under the city manager's responsibility, all of this is his. Second problem I have with this is that there's been a motion and a second with no discussion about the route. We're just going to change the route. So who's setting the route? The old route. I think for procedure-wise that it needs to be in whatever motion it is. If this is a policy change, I think we can vote on it. but I have not seen a policy change that changes this. This is the day-to-day operation of city manager, and I know that he's uneasy about doing it without some kind of nodding of heads. My question would be, when it comes time to set the 4th of July parade, I guess we're going to come back and vote on it. And then when we have a run through town, we'll come back and we'll set the route for that. When storming the fort comes up, I'm assuming we'll come back and set the route for that because we have now set a precedent if this passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, you have anything to add?
No, just that, we, of course, as Councilman Wright said, I did talk to TDOT, and they said they don't weigh in on this, that they do leave it up to local authority. The only thing they ask to be included in is if we tried to detour traffic, which we just, for practicality purposes with manpower, we just can't do. We will, Chief Washington and I talked about this morning, we will meet with the county if this is approved about an ambulance, trying to make arrangements. Maybe we can get one staged in a certain part of town, or just at least make them aware. We'll do everything we can. Of course, you know, there may be no issues whatsoever, but we're ready to do. We went over the staffing. Chief Washington and I did today. We'll staff it whichever route you choose. So we're good at the staff level. Whatever you all want to do.
Chief Washington, you got anything to add?
No, sir, just like city manager said, we've got everything staffed, and we've also got someone floating to answer calls. And then like we've always done with the older route, we get a call on one end of town and somebody's closer, then we can send that person. So we've got it.
I think for clarification from Mr. Brown is that the parade would start at the fire hall, turn right in front of the Little Rocky Top, Highway 70 to 3rd Street to, what's that, Cumberland, Kentucky, and all the way down to Rome Street. Is that correct? Just make sure that's reflected in the record, please.
Mayor.
Yes, Mr. Chapter.
Are we going to have a staging area over around the fort or anything, like we did in the past? In the past, we had like maybe one patrol car and a fire truck that was out around the fort area in case something was on that end. Yeah, we always have that staffed around James Ferry, and we also have it staffed up to 58 and 70 in case someone needs to get around. They go to James Ferry, or they come all the way up to Euclid, Church Street, 3rd Street, West Road, or East Road. But there is a staging area similar to like we used to have, I think.
Any other questions? Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Brackett,
Yes.
Councilmember Brown,
I'm going to abstain because I think it's against the charter.
Councilmember Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Humphreys. Yes. Vice Mayor Stockton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Neal.
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 abstain.
Item E is a continued discussion of amending the existing mobile food vendor policy. Mr. Boniel, there was an issue that could be possibly coming up this Saturday. Is that still an issue, or?
There is an event, I guess, Chase, is it this Saturday? Okay, so there is an event. We did confirm that their plan was to sell food, so because of that, yes, it would be applicable under our current policy. And I think, you know, we have clearly determined that we don't have the authority to not enforce that ordinance. So as it stands now, if the ordinance isn't changed between now and then, it would be in effect.
Mayor, I would like to make a motion to rescind food truck ordinance 19791.
A motion to amend the ordinance, repeat the number, please.
19791.
say rescind or amend?
Rescind.
Is there a second?
I have a
I need a second first.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Wright, second by Mr. Childs. Ms. Wright, would you?
Yes, sir. As Mr. Brown pointed out in our workshop, this is an ordinance, not a policy. So since we can't account for every situation that may come up in this, I think it would be better off to make this into a policy. Obviously, everyone has their opinions on what we passed unanimously, needs to be tweaked. So in hopes, I'm wanting to rescind this ordinance in order to reinstate it as a policy with whatever changes anybody would like to make. And in rescinding this, it'll be able for them to have their event on Saturday with no issues. And if there are any other issues, once this policy is re-voted on, it won't be such an issue to make changes to it.
Mr. Childs.
We're gonna try to bring that up back to like the January meeting for a February vote.
I would like to probably discuss
Do
it
we need to do that
December
tonight,
workshop,
right?
June, whatever it takes to get it right.
Probably our next work session.
Oh, by the way, we also need to have a second reading this week. So in order to get this done, we've got to come back tomorrow, Thursday or Friday to finish this up.
Is that correct, Mr.?
We have to have a second
Well,
reading.
it's actually repealed. That's
Well, repeal.
Still required to read.
still requires to be.
And that can't be done by Saturday.
Yeah, we'll have a second reading this week. Special call meeting.
You have to have, don't you have to have 7 days for a special call meeting?
I've already asked the opinion on that, and from my understanding, as long as it wasn't the same night, we are okay.
You can have successive special call meetings. Now you've got the sunshine.
Yes.
But that's adequate public notice is what that's called.
Mr. Childs, anything else? Ms. Summers, you anything?
I do. I was going to make a different motion to amend, but if we're making a motion to rescind the entire thing, I guess my question would be, is this just going to continue to be an ongoing issue or something we could just amend the policy that we have and resolve now and be done with it?
I think we've got a lot more questions on the policy, and I know I do myself, and in light of learning a few more things and asking a few more questions to some of the vendors that I need to ask.
Oh, it's my understanding right now the biggest problem is the fee, the permit fee. If we kept the health and safety part of it and just removed the section on the fee, would that not fix the problem, or are we still going to have to address other issues? I guess is my question.
Yes, I mean, as far as I know, yes, it could. We could,
I mean, what's the will of the other council members? Is there more continued discussion necessary in everyone else's opinion, or would that fix the problem?
and I think we're going to end up with 7 different opinions on how much it should be.
Well, I was going to make the motion to just do away with the fee altogether, because I don't really see that we're going to get any great benefit out of that, and I think it's going to cause us a lot of issues with vendors, food truck vendors not being willing to come to Kingston. And I don't want to see that happen, and I don't think it's going to benefit us at all, really, to charge that fee, because I don't think we'll get anything out of it. They just won't pay it. And I know that the hot dog guy decided to come on in and pay it, but that's a little bit different situation. He's paying basically $10 a month for 12 months a year, but he's got a little cart that he can set up every day. Most of the food truck vendors don't work that way. They come to events or they come to weekend things. They're not somebody that can just set up in a parking lot every day.
Anything else? This time.
I was just I was trying to remember whether or not it had to be 7 days, and I couldn't remember, so that was my only question I had by doing that process, so.
Mr. Wright?
How much money will the city lose if we do away with the fee?
None, because we hadn't had it before.
Well, I mean, we're talking about a large amount of money or just nickels and dimes.
Kind of hard to, I mean, like, for Street Fest, we had, what, three or four, and 4th of July, so, I mean, you know, you're talking a few $1,000s a year, a couple $1,000s a year maybe, you know, at $120. The only one we've issued so far is to the hot dog vendor, and if this is amended or rescinded, then, you know, we'll refund his money to him. But, you know, if every food vendor conceivably, yeah, I wouldn't think you're looking at more than a couple $1,000s a year at $120 a pop. But it just depends on how many sign up for it, really.
How much do we charge for a spot?
$50.
Set up spot at the fest or
It can vary. I think Street Fest was $50. $50 for a spot. So, you know, if conceivably if they pulled out, then we'd lose that revenue. But I mean, neither one of them are big money makers by any means. I think, you know, the most important thing, in my opinion, about the policy is the safety regulations and the background check. I think that's certainly much more critical than what little revenue we'll get off of it. So in some form or fashion, we do need a policy in place. It's just a question about the permitting fee.
Mr. Brown?
Mr. Attorney, does this meet just making a motion to rescind? Does that meet the criteria for an ordinance?
Well, you could repeal an ordinance in its entirety, and I believe she counts that by designating the ordinance itself. Rescind is probably the wrong word. Repeal is.
And is that you sure that's the right number? That just doesn't look like a.
Yes, it is.
19-7-9. Anything else, Mr.
Oh, I wouldn't say it if I did.
Mr. Attorney, I have a question for you. And this is a law question. Instead of rescinding the ordinance.
Repeal.
Thank you. Can we put this ordinance on hold or stand by?
No.
You can do that.
No, you've either got to amend it, repeal it, or leave it like it is. Those are your choices.
And even in amending the ordinance, it would take 2 readings.
It would. That's correct, Mr. Mayor.
See if anything else, any other questions?
Well, I would like to ask also, I've heard through the grapevine that there may be another event somewhere in Kingston this week that a food truck was planning to come to, and I guess if we vote to repeal this, even though we won't have had our hearings, will we still be enforcing it this week?
If the event is, I don't know what event you're alluding to, but if it happens before the second reading, then yeah, this will be in effect, this policy will be in effect until a second, assuming the first reading passes, until the second reading passes.
Is everyone available tomorrow night? Anybody not available tomorrow night?
Mr. Mayor, if I think tomorrow night would be a little tight for your adequate public notice. Yes, you can do it, but you still got the sunshine law, and we need to give as much public notice as you possibly can. 24 hours is probably, you're not going to have a newspaper available. You can have some media presence. You can put it on your website, and you can post it in various sundry places. But and there's very little likelihood, but I would think that if you're looking for those times, either Thursday or Friday would be a better time than Wednesday.
No further questions on that. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll on repealing the food truck policy?
Ordinance.
It's policy.
Councilmember Brackett.
Yes.
Councilmember Brown.
No.
Councilmember Childs.
Yes.
Councilmember Humphries.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stockton.
Yes.
Councilmember Wright.
Yes.
Mayor Neal.
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 nay.
That being the end of the agenda, the city council meeting is adjourned. Now we'll go straight into the Kingston Fair Board meeting. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll for the Fair Board, please?
Member Brackett.
Here.
Member Brown. Member Childs. Member Humphries.
Present.
Vice Chair Stockton.
Present.
Member Wright.
Present.
Chairman Lee.
Present. Do you hear a motion to approve the previous minutes from last month's Beer Board meeting?
Make a motion.
Second.
Have a motion second. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll on the previous minutes?
Member Brackett.
Yes.
Member Brown.
Yes.
Member Childs.
Yes.
Member Humphries.
Yes.
Vice Chair Stockton.
Yes.
Member Wright.
Yes.
Chairman Neal.
Aye. No business comes before the Beer Board. This meeting is adjourned. Now I'd like to call the Kingston Water Board regular meeting to order.
Member Brackett.
Here.
Call the roll.
Member Brown. Member Childs. Member Humphries.
Present.
Vice Chair Stockton.
Present.
Member Wright.
Present.
Chairman Neal.
Present. Do you hear a motion to approve the previous minutes as written?
Make a motion.
Second.
Have a motion from Ms. Stockton, second from Mr. Childs. Do you see any corrections or deletions to the minutes? Members? Madam Clerk, call the roll for the previous minutes.
Member Brackett.
Yes.
Member Brown.
Yes.
Member Childs.
Yes.
Member Humphries.
Yes.
Vice Chair Stockton.
Yes.
Member Wright.
Yes.
Chairman Neal.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Do we have any citizens that wishing to address the water board tonight? Seeing none, I'll go to the utility director's report. Mr. Belton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a few things in addition to my written report. The raw water pump, if you remember that you purchased for the water plant, has been installed. It's now online. There's some pictures floating around that I took somewhere of that, but it was very impressive and quite an ordeal to get that out of the ground and get the new one in. But it is in, no problems, and we were able to get by just fine while it was being built. So thankfully, no issues there. As we work on our capital planning over the next couple of years, we'll probably be looking at trying to replace the other one, and then we should be gone. Should be good much longer than any of us will be here. But happy to report that is in and operational. Just going to give you a heads up. We'll be talking more about this and probably putting out some notices, but we are planning on doing some smoke testing over the next couple months over the winter. So heads up on that in case you get any calls, people wondering why smoke's coming out of their gutters and things like that. Then we'll be doing that. And finally, just wanted to brag a little bit. I don't know if you read through my report, you'll notice our water line loss this month is at 12%, down to 12%. As far back as I've searched, and I certainly can't go back all the way, but I don't know that we've ever been below 10%. So that's very close, and that's certainly way, way lower than the state average. So that's a pretty big deal, and proud of our water guys for all they do to stay on top of leaks. But that's money that's not going in the ground. So just wanted to brag on that a little bit, and that's all I have unless you have any questions.
Are there any questions for the utility director? All right, seeing none, new business is item 1, consideration to approve a contract with Wattsburg Utility District for the sale and purchase of water and authorizing for the mayor to execute and sign the contract upon approval. Do you hear a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Wright, second by Ms. Stockton. Ms. Wright, do you have anything?
I do not.
Ms. Stockton?
I don't.
Board members? Glad to get this done before existing contract runs out 1st of December. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Member Brackett.
Yes.
Member Brown.
Yes.
Member Childs.
Yes.
Member Humphries.
Yes.
Vice Chair Stockton.
Yes.
Member Wright.
Yes.
Chairman Nick.
Aye. Anything else to come for the water board tonight? Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned.
Welcome back into the locker room, a very special edition of the locker room. I'm Chase Clem, joined by John Williams. They call him Sleepy, folks. And tonight we have got a lot of special guests lined up. We've got some kids in the studio. We've got the Anderson County High School in the studio. We're just excited. A lot of breaking news in high school football today, a lot of playoff scenarios to look at. So we're going to jump right in it. And Sleepy, you take it over, sir.
Yes, a lot of breaking news. According to 5-Star Preps, Clinton Dragon head football coach Randy McCamey resigned today from the head coaching position at Clinton High School. He released a statement basically saying he loved Clinton, but he felt it was just time for a change. He needed to move on and pursue some other interests. So, Coach McCamey's a Clinton guy. He grew up in Clinton, graduated and played ball there, was an assistant coach at one time and been a head coach the last 3 years. Had a record of 8 wins and 23 losses and, did a lot of good things while he's at Clinton. And, it's always tough when a coach resigns, whatever side of the fence you're on, whether you supported him or not, it's always difficult. And, we wish Randy nothing but the best from here on out. As he said, he's going to pursue some other interests.
But on to a brighter note, Sleepy, we're joined here tonight by a group of great coaches and a group of good-looking young kids.
Right, we got a great show lined up here tonight. Joining us right now is the head coach of the NAGAF Hoppers, Mr. Carl Beatty. Carl, welcome to the show, and thank you for coming out and bringing your kids out fresh off a championship in the Hopper division.
That's right, and thank you very much for letting us be here tonight. We have 3 teams. We have the JV Hoppers and the Hoppers and the Cutters, and they're all a great bunch of kids. NAGAF was an organization founded in 1971-72. NAGAF, it always confuses everybody, but it's North Anderson, Glen Alpine, Fairview communities. And the park was donated by some people in the community for underprivileged kids. And we still have many underprivileged kids we serve. And it's just a great opportunity to be here tonight. And thank you very much. We're very gracious and honored to be here. We get to talk about our program.
Right, and first off, I'd just like to thank you for your service. I know that Monday was Veterans Day, but any day is great to recognize our veterans. And I know you're a veteran of the Army. You was telling me you're a Sergeant Major.
Yes.
Did 3 tours.
That's correct. That's one of the best things about football. It teaches you a lot of life lessons, and a lot of the lessons I was taught as a young man in high school and all the way through my football career is lessons I can carry in life, and it teaches you about perseverance, fighting to the end, teamwork, working together for one goal to accomplish one thing. And that's one reason I'm so fortunate to be coaching football. I get to teach those values and spend some time with young men and make their life better and just be part of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, Carl, I'm going to show my age. You mentioned the NAGAF. I actually played on that field when they first built it. And I remember the goalposts, they were made out of lumber. I believe it might have been pine. They had the old-timey...
Not really. But yeah, you're right.
I actually played there when I was a kid, and it's really improved a lot. And over the period of time, it don't seem like it's been that long, but I actually came to your all's first game this year. And but anyway, just talk about your season this year. I know y'all won the championship in the Volunteer Football League.
Yes, we did. We played Clinton for the championship and was fortunate enough to beat them. They're a pretty good team. We have a great team. We're very well coached, very disciplined. We don't get too fancy. We run a lot of plays, but they're all very repetitive stuff, and a lot of I'm very fortunate to have a good group of coaches on all of our teams. I'm also the director there at Medjack. So all of our teams has a lot of good coaches. But the best thing I can say about these young men, some of them, it's a little sad for me this year. Some of them I've had for 5 years, and they're moving up. And sort of, I remember a lot of them would come out on the field and would cry, and I would stop it and say, "It's mommy time, go see your mommies." And one day it got so bad, I just said, "I'm over it. Everybody go home. We'll start tomorrow." But it's been really a good experience with these young men, and I've been fortunate enough to coach them on the littlest to the hoppers. We had some of our coaches, to include myself, that's coached 2 teams, the smallest team and the next team up. And we kept a lot of continuity and run the same coaching techniques and the same plays, and it worked out good for our program. Some of these guys, other than the one game we lost year, hadn't lost a game in 40 regular season games or more. And
Wow.
Clinton beat us the first game this year, but in the other leagues for the last 4 years, we've won a championship in every division we've been in, and this year we won 2. We won the JV and the Hoppers, but it's been a great year, and I just love football, and I'm glad I'm part of the program.
You actually came to that first game. Clinton defeated y'all. I guess.
Sure did.
I guess you're glad I didn't come back anymore, right?
No, we always welcome anybody that can come, and it was, sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need a little smack in the face to let you know that you're really not good as you think you are, and make you work a little harder. And our kids dug in and was determined they weren't going to lose anymore, and they didn't.
Right. Clinton had a fine team. They were undefeated in the regular season, and me and my good friend I work with, John Faust, we've been talking about maybe having the winner of y'all's game in Clinton on here on the show, and it worked out that y'all won, and we're glad to have you all on. And if we could now, I guess we'll just go ahead and meet these young boys.
Guys, we'll start with 25. If you want to come to the microphone, just tell us your name, your position, how old you are, and let's hear who your favorite football player
this
is.
Carl's.
This is the youngest one, last of the litter.
Peyton Manning. All right, next. Just tell us your name and how old you are and what position you play and your favorite player.
My name is Hunter. I play safety, and my favorite football player is Peyton Manning.
It's a good one.
This is the Walker kid, right? I used to coach your dad in baseball.
My name is Ed Walker, and I play linebacker and running back, and my favorite player is probably Josh Thompson.
Another good choice.
Very good running back right there. I was really impressed watching that young man carry the football.
My name is Jackson Davis, and I play DN. My favorite player is Pat Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes.
My name is Ethan Atkins, I play center and guard, and my favorite football player is Tom Brady.
What's your name again?
Hayden Atkins.
Hayden Atkins. Are you the biggest on the team? How old are you?
9. About to turn 10 in 3 weeks.
How's that arm looking? Is it getting healthy?
I'm taking off tomorrow, actually.
Awesome.
My name is Braxton Phillips. I play defensive tackle, and my favorite player is Tyreek Hill.
Hey, Braxton. Braxton, step back up. I want to ask you a question. Who's your favorite player?
Tyreek Hill.
Okay. What is? I know you're a pretty good athlete. I've seen you play about every sport. Do you have a favorite sport?
Football.
Football right now, and this is your first year playing, right? I've heard some good things about you, so just keep playing all the sports you can.
My name is Nate Wells. I'm 10 and my favorite player is Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice?
Yes.
You're going way back.
You probably watched a lot of his games growing up, didn't you? That's a good one.
Okay, guys, let's go.
My name's Jaden Roberts. I'm 10 years old, and I play defense, and that's it.
Who's your favorite player?
I really don't have a favorite.
Don't have a favorite player? Step back up to the mic there. What was your favorite memory of this season, this championship season?
Beating Clinton.
Beating Clinton?
That one hurt, Sleepy.
Yeah, that one hurts. All right, I asked for it.
My name is John David Gillum. I play corner and quarterback, and my favorite player is Christian McCaffrey.
Hey, John David. That's my name too. My name's John David. That's a great name. That's a football name there. Now, your dad is the head football coach at Anderson County?
Yes.
Does he give you a lot of tips before games and in practice?
He on our off time he works me out. We all work out with him, and I throw with him, practice with him.
Do you get to light the fireworks before the game?
No.
Oh, come on.
Now, your dad was an all-state running back. You play quarterback.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer to play, quarterback or running back?
Quarterback.
Quarterback, you like to have the ball in your hands more that way, right?
Yeah.
Do you like to run with the ball, or you'd rather pass it?
50-50.
Just whatever it takes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, John David.
My name's Britton Tackett. I'll play defensive end and running back, and my favorite player is Peyton Manning.
I'd say you're pretty quick, aren't you?
Yes.
Playing that defensive end, you go up and try to turn the play in.
Yes.
Did you have any sacks this year?
Yes.
How many sacks did you have?
I'm not really sure.
Not sure. Too many to count, right? At least 3 or 4?
Yes.
Well, congratulations on your championship.
Thank you.
John, we had big D linemen. We had small D ends. The corners were really aggressive. The safety was super. We was very blessed and good group of kids. Everybody get on? We had a few that didn't make it tonight, which was bad, but, had some stuff going on for families, but.
Right.
Yeah, it's a great group of kids.
Yeah, I understand y'all only gave up 30 points in 12 games.
That's correct. And I think we scored 373 points over the season, or 371. I only know that because one of our other coaches likes to keep numbers on this. I knew the score. We only, Clinton scored 15, one other team scored late. It was 30 points all year long.
So Clinton scored 15 that first game, and then you only give up 15 more in the next 11 games. That's
pretty solid.
Yes, it was.
Now, Coach, some of your staff's here. How many coaches do you have, and kind of what all do they do throughout the week of practice?
Trevor's sitting over there in the corner. He said he didn't have a face for TV, but he's not
trust
that
me,
bad.
I saw it.
He's not that bad. But Brian Walker is over there. Brian has been with me for 4 years. This is Trevor's first year. Eric Tackett, who can't be here tonight, or wasn't here tonight, has helped me for ever since we started. We started together. He's helped some with it. Rod No is not here tonight.
Now, I know Rod. I don't know him, but I know of him.
He's been with us for years.
I heard he's very enthusiastic, gets the kids fired up, right?
He does. My wife often says we talk about practicing and you know, I've sort of developed a theory that after they get so full, you're not going to put any more in. But Rod is a young me. He wants to practice all the time, night and day, 6 days a week. And of course, we can't because of the rules, but he would like to. But he's a very good coach. All my coaches are.
Right. Yeah, I've come to the realization that if you have a no on your team playing or coaching, then you're going to have a pretty good team. Right, because you send a lot of these boys up to Norris Middle, or Coach Richie No.
That's correct. And Richie does an excellent job. Got a good program up there.
Okay, Carl, what's the plans? I hear y'all got a few more games lined up for the road runners.
We actually have a little bowl game we're going to be playing in Morristown, and we're doing a Rocky Top team. We picked up a couple guys from Norwood, and I think Lake City, and we're doing the combined team for that. But the most exciting thing we're trying to put together is we're going down to Atlanta, Georgia on December the 16th for a program called the Red Zone. And we'll go down and be on the Atlanta Falcons field. And,
wow, it's really something.
Oh yeah, it's we play a lot of different teams, and it's like a 2-minute drill. And I think we do a multiple 6 or 8 games or something like that. Not a lot of time, but we get to be on the field. We get to tour the stadium and go in the locker room, see their locker room. So it'll be really cool. That's really exciting. The kids are all pumped up about that. So we're going to have to finance that, and we're trying to work that out. The parents and the players have to pay, but we're trying to put that together. But if we can do that, that'd be a great extra decision. But we do have a Rocky Top team combined, and we're going to do a bowl game as well. So that's a lot of fun. It'll be
sounds like your season's just beginning.
Yeah, well, it's going to be. We're excited about that opportunity.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate y'all coming on tonight. Your kids, they're obviously well-trained and taught more than football, so we appreciate what you and your staff do, and looks like the future's bright for yourself as well as your team. Again, thank you all for coming on, and you're always welcome.
We appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, Carl, thank you for being here, and all the kids. If you get one more shot of the kids.
Guys, you're on. Everybody wave home to all the fans.
Yeah, I'd like to one more time give a shout out. Walk on up. I want each one of y'all to come up. If you got to give a shout out to anybody.
Anybody watching back home, including your girlfriends.
Yeah, say hello to your girlfriend. Let's go, guys.
Come on up and give a shout out, John David.
Walker, let's go.
Watching at home, I hope they are. They said they were, so I'm going to tell them when I get home.
Come on, everybody. We're giving you opportunity.
I want to shout out to my mom at home for being the best mom ever and also taking care of me and letting me do this today.
My pops is watching, and he's going to call John Williams.
He's going to call in tonight.
I want to give out the shout out to my papa because me and him practice every day. He comes over to my house.
That's awesome.
I want to give out a shout out to my brother for teaching me how to catch and kick.
I want to give a shout out to my Nana and my mom. My Nana's at home watching it right now. And I just want to thank them for being the best parents and grandparents ever.
Is that it, guys? Ian Hunter, let's go, Walker. Come on.
Come on, Walker.
Let's go, Brittany. We got 3 more.
I'm going to give a shout out to my mom because she really helps me practice a lot.
I'm going to give a shout out to my grandson, Papa, for always being there when I need them. I'm going to give a shout out to my mom for helping me clean my jersey.
Nice. Just brutally honest.
Okay, guys, is that it? I got one more. Come on up.
I want to give a shout out to my papa because without him, I wouldn't learn how to block or tackle.
Okay, well, guys, congratulations on your championship season. I know y'all are future Mavericks, so let's throw those horns up. All right.
All right, Slee, before we get to our break, Coach, you had one more thing to say.
I just want to say something about the volunteers I have. Our season wouldn't work without the parents. They show up on time for practice. When we run late, they don't complain. When we quit early, they don't complain. The concessions, Brandy Tackett will get embarrassed, but she's helped us with the spirit packs and does a lot on the scenes. A lot of the moms, I have team moms, 3 team moms that have done a great job, and each one of them has their own task and they do it. It's an organization of volunteers, and it really works well because of the volunteers.
Right, that's the backbone right there. You have to have that support from the parents and volunteers as well. It's a lot that goes into having a youth football team.
Absolutely.
But Carl, once again, congratulations on your season, and good luck in the future, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, sir, for having me. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. We're going to take our first break of the night. Our phone lines are open, 865-483-8112. This is the Locker Room Chat, and we'll be right back.
Stand right there, guys, and get a photo.
At Earl F. Subaru, our reputation has been built on taking care of customers. We're Tennessee's only 8-time winner of the Subaru Love Promise Customer Commitment Award. This year, we also earned the Love Promise Community Commitment Award given for enhancing the areas we serve. This means you can be sure you'll have an excellent experience when you visit our store and be proud you're dealing with a company that gives back to local causes. Read our online reviews, then come to Earl F. Subaru in Harriman.
Take I-40 to exit 347 in Harriman, or check all our specials at duffsubaru.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Really? Again? Hey, if I had automotive style suspension like the new Simplicity, plus a free floating mower deck for the best cut, I'd be all that too.
Well...
And if I had the expertise and advice of his Simplicity dealer, maybe he'd look forward to hanging out with me.
You don't have a Simplicity dealership.
Good point. Huh.
Yeah.
SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is the premier pharmacy service location. Let our professional staff help with all your pharmacy needs, answer your questions, or help with your medication management with our Medicine on Time packaging system. We also offer medication therapy management to ensure you're receiving maximum benefits from your medication. Diabetes care is available with one-on-one consultations, or you can attend one of our monthly diabetes information classes. Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood.
For 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods has been a leader in supplying the highest quality equipment and apparel for sports teams throughout East Tennessee. Athletes, fans, and coaches alike rely on the knowledge and experience that only Reno's can provide. For the best in team sports, shop Reno Sporting Goods.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
At Earl F. Subaru, our reputation has been built on taking care of customers. We're Tennessee's only 8-time winner of the Subaru Love Promise Customer Commitment Award. This year, we also earned the Love Promise Community Commitment Award given for enhancing the areas we serve. This means you can be sure you'll have an excellent experience when you visit our store and be proud you're dealing with a company that gives back to local causes. Read our online reviews, then come to Earl F. Subaru in Harriman.
Take I-40 to exit 347 in Harriman, or check all our specials at duffsubaru.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom.
On the diamond.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
By Anderson County's head coach, Coach Gillum, correct?
Yes, sir.
See, I'm learning. I'm picking up on this Anderson County football stuff. Being
got a
from
lot
Rome
to
County.
learn.
It's took about 3 years, but I'm starting to figure out who's who. But we've gone from the little leagues to the big leagues. We're joined by the Anderson County Mavericks. They've had an incredible season so far, and a big rematch this Friday in the second round of the TSSAA playoffs. So, Coach, just thanks for joining us. If you could tell us a little bit about your season. We know it's been pretty well for you all, and just talk about some of the highlights of your season and the preparation that's gone into this week.
It's been a great year, like you said. The boys, we lost a generational team last year. I think we lost 22 seniors, the most we've had since I've been there, and some of them just superstar type kids. I don't want to name them because there's so many of them, but we had set some high standards over the last few years, and this group, even though a little bit young and inexperienced, as far as playing time on Friday nights, have honestly worked harder than any group we've had. In the winter workouts, the spring workouts, summer workouts, just didn't miss at all. And halfway through the summer, us coaches thought, you know what, we may shock some people, because people show up, people work hard, you can get better like that. And sure enough, you reap what you sow, and this group has put the time in, put the work in, and went 9-1 regular season, 10-1 right now, and played great all year. Just every week we've gotten better, and the experience has paid off, and it's been a complete team effort. Tonight we got our lineman with us, and Stone Cummins, because he's an extension of the line, as our tight end H-back, and so many kids have played well. It's not been just one or just two. It's every position, both sides of the ball, special teams. But really, that offensive line has been a huge part of it. We've dominated the line of scrimmage this year.
Davey, if you would, let's talk about your coaching career and how you wound up in Anderson County. I know you played at Anderson County, all-state running back, and just talk about your coaching career and coming to Anderson County. That's sort of an interesting story.
Like I said, I played at Anderson County. I graduated in '97 and played for Coach Kerr there. Had a wonderful time. And after my playing career, I went to UT for a year as a vital walk-on and ended up at East Tennessee State. I stayed on there as a graduate assistant coach, coached for 3 years there as a DB coach. And a buddy of mine took the head job at Pikeville College, and I went up there as offensive coordinator for a couple of years. And we were fairly successful on offense, and met my wife there, who was a tennis player, and we got married and wanted to have a more stable life to build a family, so we moved back home, found a church in Scott County we went to. A guy that went to that church was a head coach at Scott County. I started coaching for him, and after a year, he stepped aside and wanted me to take over, and I was head coach there 3 years. And when Coach Kerr stepped away, my home school came calling, and we had, even though Scott County wasn't overly successful, we had done pretty well there. And all along the way, I've always had my brother with me, Russ. He was with me at Scott County, played for me at Pikeville. So the success I've had at AC, success I've had at Pikeville or Scott County, he's been a huge part of that. And then Jonathan Chattel, my DC, he's been like a brother to me and Russ the whole time. He was my quarterback coach at Pikeville. He coached for me at Scott County. So us three have been together everywhere. My name's the one that takes the glory for the wins and the heat for the losses and that kind of thing. But those guys have been just a bigger part of our success as I have.
Right, and I know you took over at Anderson County in 2009, and Coach Lambert, who's at Oneida, initially took the job when Coach Kerr left, and then Coach Lambert decided that he needed to be back home with his family closer,
Yeah,
So
we were making the opposite trips. I was living in the end of Grantsboro, which is the very end of Campbell County, driving to Scott County. Coach Lambert was living on the other side of Oneida, driving to Anderson County. And
so y'all pass each other?
we did talk a lot. Coach Lambert took over and was Coach Kurt's DC the year after I graduated. But a lot of my friends, my brother, still played at AC, and I knew Coach Lambert very well. We were friends. I helped coach middle school ball for Coach Lambert and Coach Kerr when I was younger and in college and things. And I did summer maintenance with Coach Lambert and Coach Kerr, and they were trying to get me to come coach with them at AC. And I was going to church in Scott County at the time, and I felt like it was better for my family for us to be tighter knit. And, I think the Lord just worked it out where Coach Lambert went home, where he spent more time with his family. It made it easier for me to be home in Anderson County, where I'm from, and get to spend more time with my family. And it looks like it's worked out well for both of us.
Right. It's been a very successful tenure you've had at Anderson County thus far, and you've had some really outstanding players. And let's meet some of the current crop right now.
I'll let them introduce themselves. We got some good ones, and again, this is our O-line and Stone Cummins, and we've had a really successful year, shocking year for a lot of people, but these guys are one of the biggest reasons why. They've dominated the line of scrimmage against some of the biggest and best 5A teams in East Tennessee.
Guys, if you'll let us know your name, your position, what year you are, and just a little bit about your team in the season.
I'm a senior and I'm a center.
Gage is also my nephew.
Oh, is your nephew?
I'm Russell Lindsay. I play right guard and linebacker, and I'm a junior.
My name is Jacob McCall. I play right tackle and defensive tackle, and I'm a senior.
My name's Thomas Payne. I play left tackle, and I'm a senior.
My name is Matthew Murphy. I'm a senior, and I play left guard and defensive tackle.
I'm Stone Cummins. I play middle linebacker and tight end, H-back, and I'm a junior.
I need to get in touch with some of their barbers. They've got some nice cuts going on.
That would be my brother. All the linemen got together and went with, I don't know if they're mullets or skullets, what they call them, but for our first game, they stayed out there Thursday night and shaved each other's heads.
Business in the front, party after the games.
Hey, guys, just each one of y'all talk about this season. I know coming in, it was sort of some talk, maybe a rebuilding year. I know you lost some great teammates last year, a great senior class, and you guys come in with the chip on your shoulder. I think probably not getting a lot of respect, even though you're getting respect in the statewide. You've been ranked all year. But locally, it seemed like not as much. But you've definitely earned that. Just talk about the season thus far, Gage, and everybody. See.
Yeah, we definitely came in with a chip on our shoulder. Just not a lot of respect from a lot of teams around here locally, but we saw the hard work that was been put in by everybody. People were showing up constantly, and we were pushing each other. Just we knew the talent we had and the season that we could have, so we pushed each other to be our best. And the Lions took it kind of personally, try to be the best we could this year, and just be the best of our abilities.
Okay, Stone. What's your opinion coming into this season? What was your outlook? Do you think you could get to at this position that you're in now?
Everybody was saying that we were rebuilding this year. I don't think we rebuild. We reload and we get ready to come at you every year. So it don't really matter how many we lose. We're always going to come play football.
Papa Murphy. So y'all have a really good PA announcer up there, so I love all his nickname for y'all. So you go both ways?
Yes, sir. It was
I had some big shoes to fill, especially on defense, because last year Trey No took up my spot, and I just had to play the best of my ability to be as much like him as possible and play nasty and physical.
Did you start last year?
No, sir.
Didn't. Huh. Okay.
Now, y'all have got a big game Friday night, kind of a rematch of last year. I'm sure y'all haven't mentioned that at all this week at practice, but how's that on your minds, and what all have y'all been preparing for this week at practice?
Yeah, we've had a pretty physical week so far. We've snow got in our way, but we're still able to get some work in. We got great coaches, put us in the best position, and we're just ready for Friday.
And I've seen the intro to y'all's games. It's pretty different. Not many people in the state have that. The greatest show on turf, maybe, is what I've heard it called. What's that like? Is that fun? I know not a lot of people will get to do that. Is it intimidating to the other teams? And are you wearing a Spidey mask or anything like that when you come out?
It's very fun to do on Fridays, and I know I would be pretty intimidated if I was the other team, but all of that's thanks to our O-line coach, Russ Gillum. We couldn't do any of it without him. He organizes everything, fireworks, the gas, all of it.
All right, and our last question, what's one thing y'all are going to have to do Friday night to come out with a victory? One thing maybe you've worked to improve upon this week at practice?
I just think we got to come out more physical, and we just got to be prepared and ready. And, we've talked about with, Everhart and Youngblood coming off low and everything, and I think we're pretty up for it, and I think we're ready. And it's just we're going to have to come out and fight Friday night.
Now, Russell, I know you play on defensive line or linebacker.
I switch in between.
Move you around. Where was you playing at last week when you got that interception?
I was playing linebacker.
That pick six.
Okay. Yeah, it's crazy.
You didn't almost get caught, did you?
It's close.
How far was that?
I think it was 27 yards.
27, okay. Yeah.
Speed demon. All right, guys. Well, y'all have got a big game Friday night. We appreciate y'all coming on. It's not often we get a team of y'all's quality on here, and we're thankful that y'all made it out here. So good luck Friday night, and we know you'll advance to the third round.
Good. I'd like to talk to Stone again. Hey, Stone, I believe you're a preseason All-State coming in, just a junior. Are you getting any letters this year, just being a junior?
I get some, but I'm not a big accolade guy. Team success is always better than personal success. I don't really care nothing about personal awards.
That's a good answer.
Right. All of y'all got outstanding future ahead of you. I've been keeping up with y'all this year. I know, Stone, I think you lead the team in tackles, and
I get lucky sometimes.
But you also get to carry the ball some this year, right?
Oh, like I said, I get lucky sometimes.
Right. Very humble young man. So
I appreciate it.
But good luck Friday night.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Coach. Well, you got a good group of guys with you. I think that can be that's a no. That's a done deal. They probably get that from y'all and your staff. Right. And we know y'all are in for a good game Friday night. We hope y'all come out victorious.
Thank you. It'll be a big one. Everybody that can, we can use the support Friday night.
That's 7 o'clock, right?
7 o'clock kickoff, and Greenville travels well. There'll be a lot of people all around East Tennessee come watching this, but it definitely goes a long way to have a big home crowd there.
Well, Coach Gillum, you mentioned some of your assistant coaches earlier, and I think y'all have a really good coaching staff, and that's a big part of your success.
There's no doubt about that. I think the best thing I've done as a head coach is the Lord's just surrounded me with good people. And really, for me, I've always tried to get high character people, and then we've worked on the football part. But I've already talked about Russ and John and the job they've done, but Coach Jesse, got him in a few years ago as our OC. He's done an outstanding job on the offense side of the ball. Really took a ton off of me. Coach Terry, who's also our assistant head coach and athletic director, he does so much for our team and community from the administrative side. And we've just got so many guys, and each of them have their job, and everybody takes their job seriously. And as much as I take the head coaching job serious, John takes that part on the DC, and Russ does on the OL, and Jesse does the OC, and GT does on a lot of the admin stuff. And Russ does on the Friday night intros, and there's just so many pieces that go into that, and our PA guy Ron Williams does it up top, and there's just so many people that make what we do go that's a lot bigger than me, and I'm fortunate to have them all.
Right. I think y'all are the most successful team in our coverage area zone. I believe 34-3 is your record. Last 3 years, including this year, 3 region championships in a row. Haven't lost a region game. Back-to-back undefeated regular seasons, quarterfinal appearance, and no, we ain't talked much about it tonight. You know, they say the white elephant in the room. We'll call it the green elephant. Greenville. Just before we go out, just touch on Greenville and.
Yeah, they're probably, you know. I don't even want to compare us to them right now. They've got back-to-back state championships. We're probably in the last 5 years or 4 years, the second most successful 4A team in the state of Tennessee. But they're first, and they've separated themselves even from us, even though it's been that game that separated them from us. They've went 15-0. They've won 2 state titles. All the things we do, they do. They've got great off-season programs. They're tough and they're physical. They're very well coached. And I'd like to think our program's made some big strides. A lot of it has to do with the kids we've had in the last 4 years and the accountability they've brought to our program and the standard they've helped us as coaches push from the accountability and work side of it, and all them coaches you talked about. So I believe we've covered a lot of ground as a program, and I believe our program's continuing to head in the right direction in that sense. But like Russ said a minute ago, this game's going to come down to who's more physical. Last year, we came in for a ball game and they came in for a fight, and that won't happen again this year.
Right, I seen a quote that they're going to be surprised by the intensity y'all bring.
Yeah, if they win, they're going to earn it, but we will not be shocked by the intensity of this game again.
I like it. All right, Coach. Well, thanks for joining us. Good luck Friday night. We're going to take our last break of the night. We got a caller on hold, so stay with us. 865-483-8112. This is the Locker Room Chat, and we will be right back.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is the premier pharmacy service location. Let our professional staff help with all your pharmacy needs, answer your questions, or help with your medication management with our Medicine on Time packaging system. We also offer medication therapy management to ensure you're receiving maximum benefits from your medication. Diabetes care is available with one-on-one consultations, or you can attend one of our monthly diabetes information classes. Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood.
We treat you like family at RMG. Bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We'll buy it on the spot and we'll pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. We treat you like family.
Rome Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Harriman and Rockwood.
I am a Simplicity dealer. This business is my life, my career. If you need a new mower, I'll help you choose the model that will make your property look its very best, and even let you take a test drive. When it does need service, you can rely on my factory service training and genuine parts. Because I don't just sell products, I build relationships. I am a Simplicity dealer.
S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 110,000 participants here in Tennessee who take part in high school sports.
At Earl F. Subaru, our reputation has been built on taking care of customers. We're Tennessee's only 8-time winner of the Subaru Love Promise Customer Commitment Award. This year, we also earned the Love Promise Community Commitment Award given for enhancing the areas we serve. This means you can be sure you'll have an excellent experience when you visit our store and be proud you're dealing with a company that gives back to local causes. Read our online reviews, then come to Earl F. Subaru in Harriman.
Take I-40 to exit 347 in Harriman, or check all our specials at duffsubaru.com.
Welcome back to the Locker Room Chat. Our phone lines are open, 865-483-8112. Sleepy, as big of a legend as you are in your community, the guest we've brought on next, Mr. Justin Gambrell, is just as big of a, he's almost like Paul Bunyan. He's a legend at Rockwood High School and at Rome County. So we're just thrilled to have him on the show tonight. He's going to be doing our guest picks in place of Mr. Hagan, who
on assignment again. He's on assignment. He's in Columbia, Missouri, getting ready. These Gators.
Big Gator fan.
Thank you for having me.
What do you think about it? You've been here all night. You kind of been watching from the sidelines. A lot of people rolling in and out here tonight.
Yeah, to see a lot of those young kids. I'm a teacher myself, so I get to see them on a daily basis. It's just great seeing them succeeding on and off the field.
So you're a teacher at Rockwood?
I'm a teacher. I'm also an assistant girls basketball coach.
Oh, really? Wow. So how's the Lady Tigers looking this year?
We're young, but there's a lot to be excited about this year. I think we'll have a much better year than last year.
All right, basketball is just right around the corner, and this
starting next Monday, I think. Is that when games start next Monday?
Yes, yeah.
So it's here, and as soon as football starts, it's over, and before long they'll be playing baseball. So Gambrell, our Tigers took a loss last week against probably just a bigger team up front, and I think that's what probably did us in.
They were very physical. Got a great group of seniors though. I'd be remiss without saying they've done a great job all year. They could have folded up tent multiple times, but they came back, worked hard every week, and had a really successful season.
Yeah. Actually picked Rockwood last week. South Green came into that game ranked number 6 in Class AA, and I guess they were worth their ranking. I picked the Tigers to go up there and win, but you reckon South Green, did they get any some of Greenville's players that can't cut it?
I'm not sure. There were a lot of kids out there who were, pretty tough, very athletic group. I think they're underrated because I think a lot of the schools up there, people take them for granted, kind of. Very, very exciting team up there.
We'll see what they're made of. They travel to Meigs County this week.
It'll be a tough one. Sleepy, you've got some of our games this week. We've got a little bit more time than we normally do, so maybe we can get into a little bit more in depth in those games. Who all have you got for us?
Right. Well, just looking back at last week in our local teams, Harriman, they bowed out to Cloudland. I think both me and you both missed that one.
We missed that one, Sleepy.
It's 28-7 Cloudland, and they're going to be taking on the Oliver Springs Bobcats. Bobcats be traveling up to Rome Mountain. They might have still some snow on that field up there.
They might, and Gambrell, correct me if I'm wrong, but if Oliver Springs wins that game, they'll get the host. Is that correct?
I think so. I'm not sure.
I know it's 1-2, but for some reason,
I want to say that's the 4th round.
In the 4th round, okay.
Yeah.
Right, they would be at Greenback, winner of that, Cofield.
And then we've got Greenback and Cofield. That'll be at Greenback. That's going to be a tough game for the Yellow Jackets.
But the Bobcats, they won their 5th game in a row. last week, or correction, their 6th game in a row, and had the same score as the Cofield win. Both teams won 42-6.
Interesting.
But Trey Boswell, he had a 51-yard run early. I think he ended up with 150 yards rushing, and they pretty much took care of business early.
They did. Let's take a look at the Class 2A playoff bracket. Looks like Oneida's going to travel to Hampton Friday night. The records might look a little bit different, but Gambrell, you've seen Oneida play. They're a hard-nosed team. That'll be a ball game.
They're a big physical team. I would expect Oneida to win that one. Well coached. Coach Lambert has a great reputation, not only in the region but throughout the state as a great game planner and just a motivator in general.
And then, as we touched on, South Green travels to Meigs County, and they'll be in for a dogfight. Did
the Swafford kid get injured? I heard some reports last week for Meigs County that Mr. Football had an injury, but haven't.
I think he did get injured. I'm not sure he's out for Friday night, but I know he did. He did get injured to some extent, but I don't think he'll at least.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay and be able to come back and play.
All right, let's take a look at 3A. Kingston travels to Austin East for a rematch. Austin East was victorious earlier in the year by, I think, 2 touchdowns. Kingston still without Marcus Rose. Had a big win last week against Chucky Dope. Really just went up there and put it on them and took care of business. But they'll be in for a fight this Friday night at Austin East. And Gatlinburg Pittman defeats Unicoi County. They'll also be taking on the Alcoa Tornadoes, and we know probably what's going to happen there, don't we, Sleepy?
Yeah, that's probably a tornado there, and Alcoa touchdown during the course of the night. But your Kingston Yellow Jackets, Coach Pankey called in the scoreboard show Friday night, and he said on that earlier meeting, I think it was a week 3 meeting earlier in the year, it was like 22-all, about 8 minutes to go in that game.
Yeah, and then it just kind of fell apart for the Jackets at the end. So hopefully they can put up a better match Friday night. That ought to be a well-traveled game for the Jackets as well. Let's take a look at 4A.
Big game of the week.
Sullivan South is going to travel to Elizabethton, and I don't think anybody from Sullivan South is probably watching, so their season's probably going to be over Friday night. And then the big game, Anderson County will host Greenville. Gambrell, you're kind of close to this neck of the woods. What do you think about that game?
I think Anderson County, from last year, learning from that loss, I think they'll be able to take that into this season and probably pull out a victory, especially with a tough schedule like they play.
Right, and that's the my VLT game of the week Friday night. So if you can't make it to Anderson County, it will be on TV. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. But that's just an outstanding matchup. Once again, these teams meeting for the 3rd time. I think this game will be much like maybe the first meeting they had a couple years ago when Greenville came back to win a close game. Last year's game, Greenville, I thought could have been maybe the best team in the state of Tennessee. They were that good, and but this year's game is be more like that first meeting from 2017. So
let's check out 5A. Gibbs travels to Central. Daniel Boone travels to South Dual. Look for South Dual to. I'm going to say they're going to win that game. Not too familiar with Gibbs and Central. I know they both had good seasons, so that'll probably be a more competitive game, I would think, than South Doyle and Daniel Boone.
Right, Gibbs just beat Central in the last week of the regular season, and they went up to Tennessee High, Bristol, and upset the #1 team out of that region. So the Gibbs Eagles are flying high. They'll be coming into Fountain City. It'll be an interesting matchup.
Well, let's take a look at the other 5A. Powell, who Gambrell with some breaking news. Powell might be in a little bit of trouble, right, Gambrell? We don't know, allegedly.
From everything I had read, there was some investigation going on from TSSAA. I read that from Jesse Smithy at 5 Star Preps, but without any more information, you really can't comment too much.
Well, we know you keep your ear to the ground, and you'll get with your sources tonight and probably give us some breaking news. In Oak Ridge, your Wildcats travel to Knox West. Knox West 10-1, Oak Ridge 6-5, but they've came on strong. Big win against Saudi Daisy, and they've kind of peaked at the right time, so that could be a good game as well. Let's finish off with 6A. Bearden travels to Dobbins Bennett, and Farragut will travel to Maryville. So you've got to think Maryville, possibly the best team in the entire state, one of, will defeat Farragut. Dobbins Bennett probably beats Bearden. Bearden still with a record below 500, but able to beat 9-1 McMinn County last week. So you never know, Sleepy.
Right, Bearden's playing well right now. They've actually on a winning streak, so they could possibly go up there and knock off DB. And the Farragut played Maryville pretty tough in the regular season, but it's just tough to beat Maryville.
And those are our class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6A brackets. Sleepy, let's go over some of our picks. We've got a few minutes left. I think you've still got the lead.
Yeah, overall I got the lead by 6 games over you and 7 over Matt, but Matt won the first round of the playoffs last week. He went 7-3. Me and you went 6-4. So
he's already sent his picks in for this week, so he's ready. And we're fired up to have Gambrell here picking tonight. I'm guaranteed, however many games we got, he's going that no. He won't miss one.
Okay. Our first game is Oliver Springs traveling to Cloudland.
We'll let the Oliver Springs alumni go first.
I would take Oliver Springs. I just think they have an offense that travels, that they can play anywhere.
What is it, Coach Kegley? Air traffic control will be on alert, so I'm going to go with the Bobcats as well.
Yeah, I'll go with Oliver Springs to win and that much anticipated matchup with Greenback next week. Cofield, well, I spoiled that pick. Cofield's going to Greenback. That's going to be tough. Who you got in that one, Chase?
I'm going to go, with all respect to Mr. Brad Jones, I'm going to go with Greenback.
Right, Greenback's won 9 in a row after starting 0-2 and really playing good football.
Yeah, I'll take Greenback, and probably a pretty chippy game, but Greenback.
Oneida at Hampton. Gambrell mentioned that. I like what he said. I like Oneida going to Hampton and getting a win.
Give me Coach Lambert all day.
Oneida.
All right, Kingston at Austin East. Gambrell, what you got? Austin East won 6 in a row.
I'm going to take Austin East over the Jackets.
I'm going to fade Gambrell and go with Coach Pankey.
I'll go with Trey Foster, quarterback, Austin East. He's pretty special. Give me the Roadrunners. Red Bank is traveling to Upperman. That's sort of out of our region, but that's a game worth picking. I'm going to go with the Bees, Upperman Bees.
The Bees and Knees, and Jeff Upshaw Inman comes out with a victory.
Yeah, I'll take Upperman too.
Greenville at Anderson County. Chase.
Greenville.
Give me Anderson County.
I'm going to go with Anderson County to break through and get over that stumbling block. That is the Greenville Green Devils. Give me the Mavericks. Oak Ridge traveling to West, 10-1.
West.
I'll take West as well, but it could be much closer than the first meeting. Gibbs at Central. Gibbs defeated Central at home a couple weeks ago, but I think the Bobcats pull out another win here.
Bob.